Today's lesson is going to be about detecting gases. So in this lesson we're going to learn about the test for these four gases: carbon dioxide gas, chlorine gas, hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Now why is this important? So if we think back to the work we did last week, we had, for example, I can take this reaction down here where we had a piece of magnesium in hydrochloric acid and hydrogen gas was given off. Now, hydrogen gas is a colourless gas. In fact, most gases are colourless gases. So we need a way to test to prove that this really is hydrogen gas. How do I know it's hydrogen gas? Okay, well I know because of the equation. All right, but let's say if you had any kind of reaction and you can see that there's a gas coming off because there's bubbling, but you don't know what kind of gas it is. You need to have a test in order to be able to determine what that gas is. And luckily, we've got tests. So we've got 4 tests for each of these different gases. Okay, so let's start with number 1, the test for CO2 gas, the test for carbon dioxide. All right, it's a very simple test. All you do is you bubble the gas through lime water. And if the lime water turns cloudy, the gas is CO2. And that's it. So you bubble the gas through a liquid called lime water. If the lime water turns cloudy, then that gas is carbon dioxide. If the lime water doesn't turn cloudy, it's not carbon dioxide. Okay, and I can show you this in this picture here. So you can see what you've got in this picture is a test tube, and you've got a glass straw inside the test tube, and this liquid here is lime water, and these bubbles are coming down the straw and then going through the lime water. All right, and they are bubbles of carbon dioxide. And you can see that as more carbon dioxide goes through the lime water, it starts to go cloudy and then will turn this sort of milky colour. Okay, and we can do this when we go back to school. We can do that. You might have done it before actually in a lower year, where you blow through the straw because you breathe out carbon dioxide. All right, so that's what the test for carbon dioxide gas looks like. Okay, and one thing to notice is that lime water, don't get confused. A lot of people think that that's just water with lime juice in it. It's not. It's a special type of chemical, all right, that we just call lime water. All right. So at this point, you'll probably want to stop and make yourself a flashcard, all right, because you need to know all of these tests. So you can have test for carbon dioxide gas on one side of your flashcard, and then on the other side of the flashcard you need to write out the description. Okay, so we can say the test is bubble gas through lime water. Okay, and the result, if positive, what do I mean by that? I mean the result if it is carbon dioxide gas, okay, the lime water turns cloudy. Okay, and if it's not carbon dioxide, then it won't turn cloudy. All right, so we're going to do this for all 4 tests. All right, so you need to make sure you've got your flashcards. All right, number 2 is, okay, so we've done carbon dioxide gas. Number 2 is chlorine gas. All right, chlorine gas, Cl2. Okay, the test for chlorine gas is hold damp blue litmus paper near gas. Okay, so this is just a special type of paper that's blue. We just make it damp with a bit of water, hold it near the gas, and then if the blue litmus paper turns red, then white, it is Cl2 gas. Okay, so that's the test. Hold the damp blue litmus paper near the gas. If the blue litmus paper turns red, then white, it is Cl2 gas. So I can show you this as well in this picture here. So this is chlorine water. So above the chlorine water is going to be chlorine gas. And you can see this is the normal blue litmus paper here. All right, and they've wet the end of it, and you can see that the chlorine gas has turned it white. All right, so it would have turned red first, but now it has turned white. Okay, so that's the test for chlorine gas. All right, so you're going to need to get yourself a flashcard. Okay, and on one side you can write test for Cl2 gas. Okay, and then same as before. So the same as we did for this one, we're going to write out test. Hold damp blue litmus paper near the gas, and the result, if positive, is blue litmus paper turns red, then white. Okay, and you can use that to test yourself. All right, so we've done carbon dioxide gas, we've done chlorine gas, now we need to do hydrogen gas. Number 3. Hydrogen gas. Okay, so this is everyone's favourite. The test is place a lit splint in a test tube of the gas. Okay, now a lit splint, so a splint is one of those things that one of those wooden sticks you use to light a Bunsen burner. So you light one of those and you put it into the test tube. Okay, if it makes a pop sound, it is H2 gas. Okay, so you put the lit splint into the test tube. If it makes a pop sound, then you know that it is hydrogen gas. All right, so test for H2 gas is going to be, the test is place a lit splint in a test tube of the gas, and the result, if positive, remember what I mean is if it is hydrogen in the test tube, okay, it makes a pop sound. Now I can't show you a picture of that because it's a sound, all right, but we'll be able to do that experiment in the lab and you'll hear the pop sound if you've not done it before. All right, so that's hydrogen gas. So one more to go, oxygen gas. All right, so number 4 is oxygen gas, O2. Okay, and now the test is similar to the hydrogen test, but it is now we place a glowing splint in a test tube of the gas. A glowing splint. Okay, what I mean by a glowing splint is you light a splint like we did with the hydrogen, okay, and then you blow it out so that the flame goes out, but there's still some red glowing parts of the wood. Okay, so we place a glowing splint in the test tube of the gas, and then if it relights, then it is O2 gas. Okay, so that you've blown it out, but it's still glowing, and then if it relights, you know that it's oxygen gas. So I can show you a picture of what this looks like. You can see here, if I zoom in a little bit, all right, so you can see that this here is a glowing splint because it has been blown out, but there's still some of it that's, you know, like orange-red. Okay, so you put it inside the test tube of oxygen, and then it will relight on fire again. Okay, so now we know that that's oxygen. All right, so you now need to do your final flashcard, which is going to be the test for oxygen gas. Okay, so the same again. Test is place a glowing splint in the test tube of gas, and the result, if positive, if it is oxygen, is the glowing splint relights. Okay, so you can now use these flashcards to test yourself, and you can add them to your other flashcards. Okay, and remember, the way you do that is you take the flashcard, okay, and you look at one side, test for chlorine gas, and then you have to say out loud, or you have to get someone else to test you on it, or you need to write it down before you turn it over, test for chlorine gas. Okay, well, the test would be damp blue litmus paper turns white. Okay, and then you turn it over. Okay, damp blue litmus paper, okay, turns red, then white. Okay, so not quite. So I need to, so at this point you're probably thinking, close enough. No, so you need to read it again, okay, and then put it to the bottom of the pile. All right, so it will come up again in a few cards' time, and then you'll have another go at it. All right? Good. So what I want you to do this week is, once you've watched this video, you've made your flashcards, you've had a read through it, gone back, rewinded anything you don't understand, I'd like you to, on Caboodle, answer A, B, C, and question 1, 2, and 3A. Okay, you don't need to do 3B, just do 3A. 1, 2, 3A. All right, good work.